Did you roll? Are we rolling?
Yes.
We're
Hi,
rolling?
America.
Hi,
Welcome to
kids.
Angel in the
I
Woods.
want you to know we didn't
Yeah,
talk about any of this in between shows.
We did.
You're a sweetheart. Listen, let me just say one thing to her credit. She is a great companion. She does her research. She checks things out, and she has an open mind. She's not one of these morons that can't be told anything. Oh no, I know better. No, and she can see the truth if it's really there, and I respect her for that. Let me just say one thing quick. This week's show, we've been telling you about Playhouse 19, the new DVD. And if you want one, just email us, give us an address, we'll mail it to you for free. This week we're going to have the first song from the Playhouse, plus the introduction that tells about it and what it is. So our show is going to be a little bit short because that's going to take the last almost 10 minutes. Okay,
so we were having a conversation between shows. We were about
yes.
The deficit and debt.
Right.
And you said that the deficit was 16 something.
No. The deficit is the amount of the deficit is the amount of money that we spend each year that we do not have.
Okay.
We are under Obama running a $1.4 trillion deficit.
So just to clarify, you admit each year. You admit. Okay, first of all, the fiscal year starts October to October.
Right.
So the October 2008.
November, December, January. He started in January 20th. That means for 3 months it wasn't his.
So he came in though in that 3 months because it's already planned ahead, right? Anyway.
Yeah, but how much could it raise in 3 months? He had 9 months left.
So
9 months of debt.
So we admit though that George W. Bush left a $1.2 trillion deficit.
No, I don't know that. I can't say that I admit that because I don't know that for a fact.
The budget's already set.
Yes, which we haven't had in 4 years. Since the Democrats have taken over the Congress, they have not produced a budget in 4 years. It is their job, under the law, to produce a budget that us to live on each year. Since Harry Reid has been running the Senate, we have not had a budget passed in 4 years. That's how irresponsible these people are. They are totally irresponsible, and they should be thrown out. They should be in prison for some of the stuff they do.
So back to the topic.
Back to the topic.
We were talking about the difference between deficit and debt, and
yes.
You had said, and I had said that Romney keeps making a claim that Obama doubled the deficit, and you said no, it's 16 something trillion, and it's more than that. Anyway, so what I realized is that you and I were looking at it in two different
places.
Ways. And so you explained deficit is
the yearly amount of money that we don't have as opposed to what we spend. The debt is that money
accrued.
Okay, and so each year we're accruing $1.2 trillion in debt.
So we're talking about the deficit. So
right.
Obama came in with a 1.2 trillion deficit the first year.
Right.
He added to that a little bit, so it was 1.4 trillion.
He had 9 months. He couldn't have. 1.4 trillion.
1.4 trillion.
Right. But that was for the whole year. That was for the whole year. He didn't just add 200,000. He had a 1.4 or 1.2 trillion dollar debt at the end of the year, under which George Bush was only president for 3 months.
So then. The deficits then for the next 2 years were 1.3 trillion. So
each year.
Right, but instead of adding, we were able to save.
We didn't save anything.
No, but what I'm saying,
we were spending a deficit each year.
What I'm saying is that instead of spending 1.4 trillion more than what we had, we only spend 1.3 trillion more than what we had. And that
that's
this year,
really reassuring.
And this year is going to end near 1.2 trillion. Now we're talking trillions of dollars. That is, that's a lot of money. That's
but nothing has been cut.
0.1 trillion is $100 billion.
Yeah, and so what I'm saying is, if you have a deficit each year of even 1.2, there's nothing good about that. Obama has done nothing. He came forth with no plans for controlling Medicare. He came no plans for Social Security. No plans to cut spending. He hasn't done anything, and the reason he hasn't done anything is because he was raised to hate this country, and he won't do any. He thinks we should be knocked down a peg. He doesn't believe in American exceptionalism. He thinks everybody's the same, and they're not. There aren't people coming from all around the world to be Americans. They ain't going to France to be Frenchmen.
Well, here, how about this? Look at this.
Whatever you say.
No, just
I respect the heck out of you. And then the reason I respect that guy is because you can see when something is not true. Otherwise, you'd never be talking to me anymore.
I will tell you that Romney's tax plan from a math teacher doesn't make sense. I don't get it. I don't get it.
That's okay, because you're thinking of it as they present it as a static number, and it's not.
That was when Romney was talking about it in the first debate, and he said something, and
he's taking 20% off everybody, but he's going to close. He's going to close deductions, and he's going to open up the base to more people to pay. Anyway. I know. Anyway, it doesn't.
Listen.
Believe me, people have reviewed it.
I'm going to give you some pros and cons here because you.
Go ahead. I know.
Because you're going to be.
I'm the devil's keeper.
Well, I'm just trying to show you that this is that what I have is not always all pro-Obama.
Oh.
This happens to be about Obama, but they call it his numbers. So this is like all of his numbers accurate to I think September 2012. Okay. Sure. Because that was the last that they could update.
Sure.
So since he took office, there's been an increase of 325,000 jobs, or whatever. Unemployment is at 7.8%. The S&P 500 has gone up 81%. Manufacturing has gone up 48%. Consumer Confidence Index has gone up 86%.
Right.
Total federal debt has gone up 52%. Debt held by the public has gone up 79%, so some of those are not great numbers.
I would think so.
Real household income
has declined by $4,000.
Has declined by 5%.
$4,500. Real household income, the money that you and I take home, has decreased by $4,000.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Real family income has decreased by 5%.
So you notice they give you a percent rather than a number because the number's too scary.
They talk about that later in here.
Okay.
I'm just reading from this right here. See?
Okay, sure. I see it. I see it.
Persons in poverty has increased 6.4 million. Food stamp recipients has increased by 46%.
Right, 46%.
Gasoline prices went up 106%.
Right.
Drilling in operation is up 23. Wind and solar power is up 116%.
Right, which means instead of 2, there's 3.
Petroleum imports are down 23%. Handgun production is up 68%.
I believe that.
Guantanamo prisoners is down 31%.
Right, now they're coming back to kill us.
U.S. military fatalities since 2008 in Iraq has been 263. In Afghanistan has been 1497. So you said something about the real household income.
The real household income went down $4,500. Okay.
So
approximately, believe me, you got paper. I don't have paper. I'm telling you things that I remember off the top of my head. And when they talk about the increase in jobs, they're not talking about the people that have left the workforce. So for all the jobs that he's created, and he hasn't created any, but for the jobs that have been created, most all of them in the public sector, in unions that work for the public sector, that have pensions, that are shutting cities down, most of those jobs that have come those do not count the ones that have been lost because companies have shut down or whatever. And as it stands right now, there's like at least 700,000 fewer women working than were working when he came into the presidency. That's just women. Women have suffered more than anybody under this guy.
So let's talk about household income.
It's 8. Sorry, folks. We have to get out at 18. I thought it was 18. Sorry, it's just 8.
It says census figures show that real, and then it says inflation-adjusted household income declined by $2,492 to a median figure of $50,054 in 2011, meaning that half of all households earn less than that 50,000 mark, and half earned more. The figure is 4.7% below where it stood in 2008, the year Obama took office. Household income is the measure most often used, and it includes both families and persons living on their own. That's household income.
Right.
Real family income would include, for example, 2 earner husband-wife families.
Yes, sir, ma'am.
And that is higher than household income. So family income also declined by $3,290 to a median of $60,000, which is a drop of 5.1%. under Obama.
That means that you're so, and the reason it's happened is because of this quantitative easing that this moron does at the Federal Reserve, the Treasury.
In fairness,
the money is not worth as much. That's why the gas prices are going up, because the Arabs want the same amount of money. They want to make the same amount of money, and they can't because the dollar's not worth what it used to be worth.
It says real family and household incomes have been stagnant or declining for a decade before Obama's term began. Anyway, so these numbers have been declining anyway, even before the 4 years Obama took
office. And he's done nothing to stop it.
And there's some evidence that incomes are starting to rise in 2012, but the official census figures won't be available until after the election. Falling incomes and high unemployment bring increased poverty, so the number of Americans living below the federal poverty line,
which I think is 12 grand.
I think it's a little bit more than that. Or I think
Jesus, could you believe that?
I think it's.
Do you know what poverty is like in other countries?
No, I think that that number isn't 12 grand. I think it's higher than 12 grand.
Poverty in America means you only have one car, you only have one cell phone, you don't have cable in every room. Okay, poverty in the rest of the world means you don't have food, you don't have home, you don't have shelter, you don't have clothes. The people in this country that are in poverty have no idea what poverty means.
So the poverty rate, so the percentage of Americans living in poverty has also gone up. It's reached 15% last year, so it's up from 13.2% in 2008. But the rate ticked down last year. It was at 15.1% in 2010, and it was at the record for poverty is 22.4%, and that was in 1959. So
that wasn't under Bush? I thought everything was under Bush.
No. And it does talk about food stamps.
Yeah, because we have more people on food stamps than ever before. Do you know that Obama
that makes sense though. But you have to understand that there's a correlation. If the income's going down, if your household income's going down, you're going to have more people that are going to be classified as poverty, which means more people will qualify for food stamps. I will tell you this, that when I first started teaching, I made $30,100 gross pay. Okay?
Right.
If I had a child, that would qualify me for food stamps.
I understand
as a teacher.
Right.
So there's something wrong with all of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the qualifications, etc.
Everything's messed up.
And another thing that's
like that. And there are teachers that have...
And the more kids you have, the more you get. So that doesn't encourage people to not have kids. It encourages them to have kids. And if you have a husband in the home, you don't get any money. So that encourages families to split up. And now I've got unwed mothers that are going on welfare because the dad just comes and visit. Because if he lives, she can't get the money. What does that do to the family? That's what I mean. Some of the dumb things we've done have had unintended consequences because they haven't been thought through. You see, we live in our Constitution guarantees us equal opportunity, not equal outcome. Some people work harder than others. Some people are smarter than others. Some people have more talent than others. These people want everybody to be the same, and that's not what Martin Luther King or anybody else ever wanted. All they wanted for their people was to have an opportunity equal to everybody else's. And then those that work hard go ahead, and those that don't. And we live in an age now, the nanny state. You know the other reason that there's more food stamps than ever before? Because for the first time, we're advertising to get food stamps, and we're giving a bonus to the states that sign people up. What the hell is that? We're encouraging people to get food stamps, even if they don't need them or want them, because it's good for the state. The state gets a little perk if they sign up this many people. That's what I mean. Things are upside down.
Doing that?
What's that?
What state is doing that?
It's a bonus. It's a new thing that was instituted under Obama to get people. You got to understand. Why do you think they wanted to take? Why do you think there's this health care? Because they know once they control our health, they've got us. And you've got to keep in mind, Obamacare was not about health. It was about power over the individual. The only reason America is great is because you got your talent and you can go do what you want with it. And I've got my talent and I can do what I want with it. And then people like Steve Jobs can, in his garage, develop this whole new system that Bill Gates can then steal from him and market as his own. I mean, so in other words, we have been great because we are the only country that really encouraged individuals to seek their level. And now we're in a country with these past 4 years, where that's not been the idea. He doesn't see America as a leader, as a great, as a goal.
It's going to be a close election.
You know, I hear that, but I don't know if that's true.
I think it's going to be close.
States are starting to fall for Romney. And you know, it's really funny. And in some ways, how am I doing time-wise? Okay, I got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It's really funny because Obama spent $150 million telling everybody that Romney was a louse. And when they saw him in that first debate, they found out immediately that he wasn't a louse. He was just a decent guy trying to do the best he could. And all that money that they spent was wasted. And he's never recovered from that. And he's not gonna. Knock on wood. Just because people found out that he wasn't a bad guy. He's just a businessman. And they tried to lambast him and paint him as this horrible guy that threw people out of work. You know, some businesses fail. Walt Disney had a business that failed, and he said bankruptcy was the best thing that ever happened. He says, good for you, because you learn a lot, and you learn what mistakes not to make, and you improve your life, and then you can go on from there and be successful. So we can't just, not everybody's going to get rich. Didn't you ever hear that song that I wrote, No Free Transfers? You can't be with everybody you want to be. You can't go everywhere you want to go. You can't do everything you want to do. So choose the things you can do and enjoy them the best you can. I mean, you know, not everybody's going to be a millionaire. Whoa. So what? Can I tell you something? Money is good, but money's not everything. There's so much more than gold in life. And there's plenty of people that don't have a lot of gold that are just as happy as can be because they've got God or they've got what they need in their life because they see that there's other things in life besides money. If I told you what I make for a living, you'd wonder how I could be happy at all because I live with the Lord. The Lord helps me, you know. I always tell people that poem about footprints in the stand, these feet have never touched ground. The Lord has been with me my whole life. Even before I was born, He was looking out for me.
I want to say, changing your topic again.
Why not? We have a minute.
About the, I liked what Biden said. It's about healthcare when they talked about abortion. Okay, and I liked Biden's response, and I think you probably respected it too.
I don't know. What did he say?
He said, "I'm Catholic."
He got a lot wrong.
And in Catholicism, we believe that life begins at conception. He goes, however, I am not one to tell somebody else who's not Catholic that you have to abide by what I believe. No,
and I agree with that.
And I respected that. And then,
but
Ryan opened his mouth and said something stupid. I don't remember what it was. I just went, oh my God, he did what?
No,
he made comments about we're gonna let your elected officials decide something, and I just went, unbelievable.
Okay, now listen, we have to go. We're not going to solve that this week, but if you continue to watch, maybe next week. That's very good, but we have to go. Bring your papers. Bye, kids.
Do something good every day. Volunteer at your local animal shelter.
That's right, all that stuff. Hello, and welcome to Playhouse 19, the DVD. You know, when you're a singer-songwriter, your most recent song is always your most cherished, the one you love the most. It's like having a new child in the house. And when I was putting together the list of songs for this DVD, I decided instead of going with what I wanted, I would go with the ones that you people always liked when you came to see the shows. I can't tell you, every time I would come up with another title, oh, let's put this on. You know, eventually there's only so much room that you can do. So here are a selection of songs that you all seem to like. It's very flattering, you know, for a songwriter when people like his words and music. So here's Laura with the beginning of the show.
Hello, everybody.
my face since Wednesday. This has been so much fun, and now we really still get to do the cool part. So, welcome. My name is Laura, and I'm the proud producer of tonight's show, and I want to welcome you to Wizard World. For those of you who are new here, it's not just a place, it's a state of mind, it's a way of life that's based on loving and caring and giving, truly giving to your fellow man, and it's a wonderful place to be. And it says on the wall behind me, you probably can't see it, but give the world your best, and the best will come back to you. And that is the truth, and that's what I've learned from this environment. The best does come back to you. So everybody has their wands, right? All right, that looks so cool. It does. Now, we encourage you to use them through the show, but I see you spinning them, so you know they get a great reach. Watch out for the people beside you, they're hard plastic. And the people in front of you, and Tina, the people behind you. That's Miss Wizette in the front row, everybody.
I grew up in a time when music was about everything but the lyrics. It was about the show, or the lights, or the smoke, or the costume changes, or how many people were on stage, or the rhythm, or the beat. You know, my father was very frustrated with that pounding that came from my room all the time. So as I flipped through the Wiz's CD, I know you guys probably, a lot of you have CDs given to you by the Wiz. Well, I got one too, my first one, and I flipped through it. And I was waiting to hear a beat, or a rhythm, or something flashy that caught my attention, and I didn't. And so, really out of friendship, and knowing that I'd probably run into him again, I kept listening. And I realized that was the key. I hadn't been listening to the words. So I listened. And my first song, my first favorite song, by the way, is Sunshine Down the Line, that you're going to hear tonight. It emerged. So I kept listening. And I now have a lot of favorite Wiz songs. And to this day, Sunshine Down the Line is not only my favorite Wiz song, it's what Tina calls them. It's my favorite song. So I have a lot of favorites, and you're going to get to hear a lot of them tonight. He has a collection of over 200 songs, and it was a lot of fun to get to go through them and pick out the list for tonight. Now, the songs that we chose for tonight, excuse me, thanks, all right. The songs for tonight are a mix between songs on the 12-string guitar that he'll play for you and pre-recorded tracks. Now, personally, I like the guitar better. It's more of a Wiz performance. It's more personal, and we go up when he goes up, and we go down when he goes down. They're never the same twice, but he likes the tracks. The first one is just the simplicity. Tonight's show is about words and music. There will be an underlying theme as he goes along, kind of describing to you how a song is born, or where he got his inspiration, or maybe just where he was when he wrote it. Now, the second reason is because of its description. It's words and music by the Wiz. The show is composed of all original music, as all of his shows are. He's been a singer and songwriter for over 40 years. 40 years is a really long time to somebody like me. Thank you. Now, anyway, it's really amazing to me to think that, you know, some of the songs you're going to hear tonight were being performed on the streets of New York over 10 years before I was born. Now, I pick on him a lot about his age. It's an easy button to push, but that's not why I bring it up. I make the point because even though the songs are so much older than I am, they still have meaning to me.
Well, it's really nice for you to all come. For those of you who were here last time, I'm going to try not to knock the guitar out of tune right away. A lot of luck. And I'd like to also say, if I might, that it's, you know, it's really flattering that you people are here. I don't really know what to say. They said they ran out of wands. I'm sorry about that. And I'll try. Okay, now, for those of you that are new to this, I'm a singer-songwriter, and I'm going to try and sing and play some of the songs, and we'll take this trip together. It seems like a good place to begin. Is she here?
Yes.
Okay, this is for you. I used to have, well,
those of you that believe know I still have the greatest mother that ever lived. Okay? Her sister's here tonight. Okay? This is a song I used to sing to these ladies 1,000 years ago. It tells you what my songs are about, and the song is called Truth and Things. I gotta finish my Ricola. Excuse me. And every mother in the audience. A tree is growing in the woods. A home is being built for someone. And when the child's being good, you can bet it's done for someone. And oh, the I say of truth and faith. The sun comes out to greet the spring, and life begins anew again. A brand new mother greets her child, and the world stands up upon its head. And only I say of truth and faith. A child lives and the star is shining. The someone's learned, and now someone is crying. A whistling wind that sounds like angels. It calls to someone, maybe me. A teardrop falls and floods the room. A